Something's happening to the Democrat Party, and some of the most prominent Democrats are admitting it. We're talking something so absolutely devastating that many are predicting the party itself won't survive. A number of Democrats are sounding the alarm, but no one inside the party is listening. Stick with the very end of this video because we're going to see why the Democrats are literally on the verge of losing everything and why some of the most prominent Democrat voices in the nation are already jumping ship. Hey gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, enjoying yet another glorious day in the Trumpian golden age that you made possible back in November 2024. So if you want a front row seat on how you continue to change the world in ways you never even imagined, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. This week, some of the most prominent liberals in the nation shocked their fellow Democrats by openly declaring that the party was on the verge of collapse. The culprit? Democratic socialists. Mamdani, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson, what even the liberals at The Atlantic are calling a parasitic movement that's taking over the Democrat Party. You don't have to look far to find articles on this. A young, vigorous, idealist, populist left movement is winning Democrat primaries all across the nation, and it's absolutely panicking party insiders, most particularly Van Jones of the Obama administration. He's coming out and he's openly sounding the alarm on this rising socialist movement within his own party.
I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party. Ideas that are literally insane, nutty, moronic, dangerous, bigoted, are not progressive. They're regressive, and they should not be in our party.
Now, keep in mind, that's nothing less than a former Obama official warning that Democrat socialists inside the party are, in his own words, going to kill the Democrat Party. They're going to destroy what's left of the Democrat coalition, and they're going to guarantee that the Democrats remain permanently in the minority. I don't know whether we should fear them or thank them. And he's not alone. Bill Maher is now saying, in many ways, the once unthinkable.
I'm not living in communist America. I mean, I know the talking point is that, well, it's not communism, it's socialism. Okay, I've read the quotes from the DSA platform, from their own mouths. Don't tell me I'm not seeing what I am seeing. They say things like, takeover of key industries, government. That's communism.
And he's absolutely right. There's literally no difference between what's being advocated by these democratic socialists and full-blown communism, precisely because they're both Marxists. And this is a distinctively cultural Marxism. We've talked about this before, what these democratic socialists are pushing. It's a cultural Marxism as opposed to an economic or class Marxism. It's technically known as Third Worldism. Third Worldism is a post-colonial political ideology. It was actually originally born in the Algerian Revolution of the 1950s and 60s. It's been forged by thinkers like Frantz Fanon and given Western intellectual cover by Jean-Paul Sartre, and its central claim is as simple as it is fanatical. The world is divided into oppressors and oppressed, with Western civilization always representing the chief oppressive evil on the planet. We are Sauron. The West is Sauron. We are Satan, literally. The West is the eternal colonizer, and any force that rises up to resist this eternally evil West is by definition morally righteous and politically virtuous. And this is key. Any and all tactics that the third world employs, the third world being the chief upriser, the chief resistor against this evil West, any and all tactics that the third world employs to overthrow the oppressive West are absolutely justified. Anything they do, violence, terror, doesn't matter. Even the Hamas attacks of October 7th, all of it is not, it's not just justified, it's actually morally mandated. So this isn't mere political policy. This is a moral creed. And that's what makes this so dangerous. Zineb Rabou of the Hudson Institute says it best. She's noted that in Zoran Mamdani's politics, the landlord morphs into the colonizer, the tenant into the colonized. The New York City Police Department becomes the occupier, right? So, I mean, just it's like this Israel-Palestine situation. Palestine, for third worldists, is the centerpiece of the global moral struggle. Israel is cast as the last fortress of Western imperialism. And Islam, in this framing, isn't about faith. It's a badge of resistance against the West, a sacred resistance. So this is why Mamdani can freeze rents one week and rally for a full arms embargo on Israel the next. It's the same ideology. It's the same war, just fought on different front lines. Housing is a colonial metaphor. Policing is occupation. And America itself is the empire that must be dismantled from within. Mamdani did not come to New York to fix the subway. He came to remake America in the image of a post-colonial Marxist revolution. And that's exactly what Van Jones is recognizing.
I've been waiting my whole life to see a youth movement do what it's doing, but it's being hijacked by people who are putting in nutty ideas supporting terrorists, nutty ideas saying that we don't need cops in prison. We can't deport anybody even if they rape somebody. Who said this? Chevalier. If we can't say right from wrong, if we can't say good from bad, if we can't separate progressive ideas from regressive ideas, we're going down the same pathway that has pulled the Republican Party into an unrecognizable shell of itself. And I refuse to let that happen today.
Yeah, of course he's got to take a shot at Trump there. Van Jones is just exposing there his own ignorance of what's really happening to his party. They're fundamentally different movements. Trump's GOP is growing because of what he's doing. The Democrat Party is collapsing because of what these third worldist socialists are doing. Trump's party is thriving, whereas their party is dying. And none other than one of the single most important Democrat strategists is openly saying precisely that. One of the most important things you can do for your home and your family is be prepared before an emergency ever happens. Because when something goes wrong, when a fire starts, the last thing you want to be doing is scrambling for some complicated solution. In moments like that, you need something simple, fast, practical, and ready to go. And that's exactly what I want to tell you about the Sierra Madre fire blanket. Now, what I love about this is just how easy it is to use. You simply pull it out using these straps, and then you unfold it. I'm not going to unfold everything. It's pretty big, but you get it. And then you place it over the flames. And that's it. No complicated instructions, no special training, right? No pressure gauges to check, no chemicals, no maintenance, and no complicated operation. It's lightweight, it's easy to carry, and it's compact enough to keep close by without taking up a bunch of space. And that makes it especially valuable in the kitchen, where so many household fires start. But it's not just for your kitchen. You can keep one in your car, your RV, your camper, your boat, in your emergency kit next to the barbecue. In other words, it's one of those simple tools that gives you real peace of mind wherever life takes you. The Sierra Madre fire blanket is made from 100% fiberglass fabric, and it works by cutting off oxygen to the flames. No charging, no batteries, no waiting. It's always ready whenever you need it. So if you're looking for a simple, practical way to add another layer of protection for your home, your vehicle, and the people you love most, check out the Sierra Madre fire blanket today. It's a small thing to keep on hand, but in the moment you need it, it can make all the difference. Click the link below to get yours today.
Mr. Valier, the New York Times reported, and I have the quote right here, I'll get to it. She is against passed off all her views. She has attacked interracial relationships in the American flag. Lady, I ain't in the same party as you. I'm sorry. I just not. And I actually do think it's time for Democrats to talk the S word, schism. I really do. Everybody's always said, no, we're coalition, we're a big tent. And there's just some shit that I can't be in the same tent with. So I just cannot, maybe there's a way that you can say to, I guess Mandami is the leader of it, is, you insist that, try to insist that the people that run under your banner run as a democratic socialist and don't use the Democratic Party as your guideline, and let's negotiate the terms of a schism here. Maybe we can part under some kind of advantageous terms for both of us. But I'm done. I'm not in that fucking political party. I am totally comfortable in a political party that spends time questioning the policies of the government of Israel. In fact, I'm enthusiastic about that. I don't want to be in a political party that denies the right of the state of Israel to exist. That's just not. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. It's just not doable.
Yeah, it's time for Democrats to talk about the S word, right? Schism. Let that sink in. This isn't some random pundit. This is the architect of the modern Democrat Party under Bill Clinton, publicly floating the idea that his own coalition needs to break into two. He's openly stating that if the Democrats go the way of the third worldist Marxists, it will cease to be a viable national party, as it ought. James Carville is stating this. He thinks that if the party goes the way of the Mamdanis and the AOCs and the Ilhan Omars, it should implode. So he, like Van Jones and Bill Maher, don't want to have anything to do with this new radical far-left cultural Marxist third worldist nonsense that's taking over the Democrat Party in so many American cities as we speak. The Guardian reported that the party's old guard, like James Carville, is abandoning the old, what they call blue no matter who banner, and they're pushing for a more formal break with their progressive wing. And Carville has since doubled down on all of that. He's warning that the socialist victories that we're seeing in these cities all across the country, they may signal the end of the two-party system. He said he can't see a future where two parties dominate American politics the way they have for the past century, meaning that it is the Democrats who are about to split. Now, again, if you've been with this channel for some time, and if not, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button, but we've often talked about the effect that woke cultural Marxist movements and politicians have on the Democrat Party, right? Their radical communist politics actually splits the left in America. This is why Van Jones is full of, he just doesn't seem to get, this is what he does not get when he draws comparisons with Trump's GOP, right? He's there saying, I don't want to happen to my party what happened to the GOP. What? That's BS. That's total and complete BS. Trump's party is stronger than ever. Well, the Democrats are weaker than ever. These are apples to oranges. What's happening to the two parties are not the same thing. Democrat socialists are destroying their party while Trump saved ours. And it's very easy to see how the Democrats are destroying themselves. So if you ask any group of leftists if they support Mamdani or the Democrat Socialist Agenda or BLM or whatever, half of the left will say, yeah, we're all for it. But the other half of the left, the Bill Maher half, the James Carville half, they're going to say, heck no, I don't want to have anything to do with this. But note, that's just half of the equation, because while this cultural Marxist wokeness is splitting the left, it is at the same time uniting the right, in that if you ask everyone on the right if they support this third worldist wokeness, they're going to say it's complete nonsense. 100% of them are going to say no way. So that's the political suicide that these social democrats, these cultural Marxists, are playing out here. They are guaranteeing a political environment where more people will always come out and vote against them than vote for them. They'll split the left and unite the right, and they'll create a 75-25 coalition right away. That's the fundamental difference. Trump has orchestrated the opposite. He's orchestrated a party that's openly championing the issues the vast majority of the American people want. border security, mass deportations, energy independence, manufacturing sovereignty, celebrating our culture and customs rather than denigrating them. The woke third worldist left is the complete opposite. They're consistently on the 20 side of any and all 80-20 issues. Why? Because they represent half the Democrat Party. If you split Democrats and Republicans, I know it's simplistic, we're leaving out independents, but just to make it easy, if you split the party, so 50 or split the electorate 50% Democrat, 50% Republican, what happens when only half the Democrat Party supports something? It's only 25%. There's your 75-25, 80-20 split. That's why Trump is consistently on the 80% side of the 80-20 issues, and Democrats are consistently on the 20% side of the 80-20 issues. That's what's tearing their party apart. Put it all together, and you could see the pattern crystallizing. Progressive socialism captured the machinery of the party in places like New York City, Chicago, Seattle. They delivered exactly the kind of incompetent governance you'd expect: bloated budgets, spiraling deficits, radical rhetoric that alienates ordinary voters. And now the party's own architects are sounding the alarm in public, on record, with their names attached, recognizing that the future of the party is indeed dire. For years, we on this channel said that the Democratic Party's radical wing would eventually eat itself alive. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who built the modern Democrat Party is now openly negotiating the terms of his own exit, live on his own podcast in prime time. Whether that's a civilized civil war or a schism or a literal end of the two-party system, as Carville himself now fears, one thing is for certain: this party did not just lose an election. It lost its own identity, its own leadership, and now quite possibly itself. You've got enough on your plate. You shouldn't have to babysit the news cycle too. Let me carry that noise for you. I'll sift it, I'll watch it, and I'll tell you what really matters for your home so you can lead in peace, not panic. Hit the link below to get my Patriot alerts and let me help you protect your family with clarity every single day.